Okie dokie. So now we are going to take a look at global warming today. And we are on page 25 in our booklet, coming into the home stretch. So we're going to first take a look at this graph that comes from an observatory in Hawaii. So we're going to take a look at the graph and the information, and I'm just going to read the intro if you want to follow along. In 1985, a geochemist named Charles Keeling installed an instrument at the top of a tall tower on the volcano Mauna in Hawaii. He wanted to precisely measure the amount of carbon dioxide in the air far away from forests and cities. In a forest, carbon dioxide levels rise and fall with the seasons and photosynthesis. Near cities, carbon dioxide from traffic and industrial pollution raises the local concentration of gas. The winds that blow steadily over Mauna Loa have come thousands of miles across the Pacific Ocean, far from most forests and human activities, swirling and mixing as they traveled. Keeling reasoned that at Mauna Loa, the average carbon dioxide levels for the entire Earth could be measured. So they chose this observatory because it was not near cities, right? And so they were probably hoping to get a fairly untainted reading of carbon dioxide levels. So we're going to take a look at this graph, which on the y-axis, carbon dioxide levels, and then here we have the dates, 1960 until 2000. Our first question asks, describe the trend in the levels of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere over the past 50 years. So in general, what were carbon dioxide levels doing over the last 50 years? And you can take a look at that and see that the trend is that they were actually increasing. Then the next question asks, notice the periodic oscillations, that's the zigzag pattern, in the concentration of carbon dioxide. What is the time period of each oscillation? So if we take a look at 1 year, like let's take a look from 1960 to 1961, we see half the year CO2 is high, then the next half of the year it's low. Then it's high, then it's low, then it's high, then it's low. And remember, we are in the northern hemisphere. So you kind of have to stop and think about what one thing on the planet in nature impacts the amount of carbon dioxide that's in the atmosphere. Well, if you stop to think about it, photosynthesis requires carbon dioxide. So it takes carbon dioxide in, and then it puts oxygen back into the atmosphere for animals, and then that cycle sort of continues. So when would there be a lot of plants available to put carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, or to bring it out of the atmosphere, and when would there be a time period when there would not be a lot of plants or less plants and vegetation? And of course, that answer would be during the summertime. During the summer, we are going to see a pattern of more carbon dioxide in the atmosphere than we are going to see in the winter, because there's simply all our deciduous trees don't have those leaves and photosynthesis slows down. All right, so then what could cause those isolations? So I mentioned all of that, right? So what do we rely on to help clean the carbon dioxide out of the air? Those are our plants. Number 3, why is Hawaii one of the more ideal locations to collect atmospheric carbon dioxide as a model of the concentration for the world? So you can find that information in the intro. We talked about that, about its location. Then number 4, how does this data collected at Mauna Loa tie in to scientists' recent predictions about climate change and global warming? So scientists are suggesting that the rising temperatures are a result of rising carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. So this data suggests that carbon dioxide is indeed rising quickly in the atmosphere.